That's right. Overnight. Will you have the chef prepare a couple of these for tomorrow night's dinner? And I'll have my key, please.
Yes, sir.
What room did you put Miss Gilbert in?
Gilbert? Gilbert. There's no Miss Gilbert registered.
Well, that's strange.
Anything wrong, Mr. Grant?
Why, yes, I was expecting my secretary today. Mr. Adams was to have met her.
Your secretary?
Yes. Miss Gilbert, Miss Lucy Gilbert. Have you heard from her?
Oh, no, not exactly. Well, that is, she was here, but...
Where is she?
Well, Mr. Grant, you see, we had a little trouble. And
where is she?
She's with Adams in the county jail.
Well, you get them out of there, and fast.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, right away. Bertie, get me Judge Hartley, quick.
Yes, sir.
Come in.
Good evening, Mr. Grant.
Well, good evening, Miss Gilbert. I'm sorry I couldn't meet you at the station.
So am I, sir.
However, Mr. Adams seems to have made your introduction to Crownport quite spectacular.
Well, if it amuses you both, of course it was quite worthwhile.
I'm sorry. Sit down, Miss Gilbert. You seem tired. What happened?
Well, when I said the boys were playing with brass knuckles, I wasn't kidding. Look, I win a case from Blackston. That makes a good impression around town. So I walk into Swade's hotel. Roscoe says something, provokes a fight, and I land in jail. That's the way Crownport's run, Mr. Grant. I hope the fact that Miss Gilbert was involved won't upset you.
The fact that Miss Gilbert was involved upsets me a great deal. It strikes me that Swade, Connaughton and Company are just been a little too high-handed.
Well, you can't fight the city hall, sir.
As candidate for mayor, that's what you're doing, isn't it?
Well, I suppose I am, but the boys are starting to play rough.
Well, of course, if they play too rough, you can always go back to your shipbuilding.
Yes, I guess I could. But right now, I'm going to go home and get some sleep. Miss Gilbert and I have a date in court tomorrow. Good night, Miss Gilbert. Don't hold me against Crownport. Thanks, sir.
Your notes, perhaps you'd like to go over them.
I gather somehow that you're not very much drawn to Mr. Adams.
My personal reactions to him aren't important, sir.
Well, I wouldn't be too hasty.
He attracts too much trouble.
He certainly does. His whole approach is wrong. He shuts his eyes and wades in as slugs. But he has good stuff.
Do you think it wise to get involved with his problems? After all, you are on your vacation.
Oh, I'm not involved. I'm just trying to give the boy a push. Come in.
May I turn your bed down, sir?
Oh, yes, certainly.
Good night, Mr. Grant.
Good night.
Oh, I'm all right.
Good night, Miss Gilbert. Kind of skimpy, isn't it?
They just ain't long enough, none of them. I keep a-telling Mr. Swade. Well, there, that'll have to do. Good night, sir. Hope you rest well.
Thank you.
Wrong number.
Mr. Adams, wake up. This is Mr. Grant.
What? Wait a minute. Yeah? You want me to what?
I said get into your clothes, get 2 yardsticks. Yardsticks. Come right over here and register for the night at the hotel. I'll tell you all about it when you get here, but get here.
Right. Hello, Roscoe. Give me a single room next to Mr. Grant's. I'll pay in advance. $413. What's the matter, Roscoe? You don't seem at all happy to see me. I brought my luggage, too.
Why should he sleep here with yardsticks? He's got a place of his own.
Hello? Get me Miss Gilbert's room, please.
Where do we start?
Why should he want to talk to her in the middle of the night? I don't know, but...
It's Grant. Yes, Mr. Grant. Yes, sir. Right away. He wants a bellboy right away. He wants to send something to Miss Gilbert's room.
They're up to something. I know they are. Henry.
Take this yardstick to Miss Gilbert.
Yes, sir. Mr. Swade said with his compliments.
My compliments to Mr. Swade. I don't eat fruit.
Oh, wait a minute, miss. I've got a bowl of fruit for you. Mr. Swade said with his compliments.
My compliments to Mr. Swade. Tell him I've lost my appetite.
I couldn't see nothing. They blacked out the rooms.
Number plate. Now she's calling Grant.
Yes, Miss Gilbert?
7.5.
Same here. And the other?
2.5.
That does it.
Maybe it's a code.
Oh, don't worry, Roscoe. I'll be back. Swade's Hotel? Give me Mr. Grant's room. Mr. Grant, you were absolutely right. It's 9 and 2. Yeah, I'll be back in a minute.
Oh, I think Mr. Swade's going to be a little sorry tomorrow that he's bringing those charges against us.
Good afternoon, Miss Gilbert. Mr. Grant, you're looking very beautiful, Miss Gilbert.
Really? I didn't sleep at all.
Probably nervous exhaustion due to the unfortunate experience you underwent yesterday. Ever spent any time in jail, Mr. Swade?
Ever been sued for false arrest, Mr. Swade?
Miss Gilbert, I've made up my mind to drop the complaint against you.
Well, what about the complaint against Mr. Adams? He spent a few hours in jail, too.
You've got nobody but yourself to thank. You started it hitting Henry. I'll forget you hit me.
He didn't hit you. I did.
Well, I'll forget that, too, but...
But 6 hours in jail is something I won't forget, Mr. Swade. I think $5,000 damages would be about right, Counselor, don't you?
Well, I had thought of 10, but...
No, I think 5 is enough. Oh, don't worry, Mr. Swade. I'll see that the money goes to a good cause. I'll invest it in war bonds.
Court is now in session. Judge Hartley presiding. Case of Swade versus Gilbert and Adams.
Judge, I move you throw my complaint out.
The complaint against Miss Gilbert?
Yes. Adams, too. We settled it by ourselves.
Both of them, huh?
Yeah.
Wow. Case of Swade versus Gilbert and Adams dismissed.
You can thank Miss Gilbert for getting you off so easy.
Thank you, Lucy. Oh, Roscoe. Just a minute, Roscoe. We're not quite through yet. Joe, serve the papers on Mr. Swade.
Roscoe Swade?
What are you talking about? I took it if I dropped my suit against you, you'd drop yours against me.
Relax, Roscoe. This is another suit. Your Honor, I find that in the management of his hotel, Mr. Swade is in violation of several important laws.
Oh, what are the charges?
I brought the evidence with me, Your Honor. The hotel laws of this state, 1909, Section 52. All sheets provided in all hotels, hostelries, inns, or lodging houses shall be a minimum of 9 feet in length. 7.5 feet, Your Honor. All pillowcases shall be a minimum of 3 feet. 2.5 feet, Your Honor. There should be a minimum distance between all twin beds of 2 feet. Now, the beds in my room at the Swade Hotel were scarcely half a foot apart, Your Honor. I couldn't bring them in evidence, but I have witnesses who can testify as to my veracity.
Well, let me see this reference.
Certainly.
You'll be sorry for this. You wait and see.
Will the court warn the defendant that threats and intimidation are punishable by law?
Quiet, Mr. Swade. And don't you tell me how to run my court. The law provides a fine of $50.
For each offense.
Are you prepared to face these charges at the present time?
Yes.
You plead guilty?
Yes.
And pay the clerk.
Nice work, Counselor.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Half-hour recess.
Well, this couldn't by any chance be a little gift from Mr. Swade.
I thought we might end our celebration in style. What vintage is that, miss?
California, 1938.
Here, I'll do it, miss. You can tell I'm an amateur. The bottle resents me.
Well, it's popped anyway. You?
To the next payer of Crown Port.
Yes, who's learned to use his head and his law books.
Well, to my routing section.
I think you're on the right track, Counselor. You keep the Connisons busy on the little things, and they won't have time for the bigger ones.
Neither will I.
Well, I think I'd like to do a little hunting in the morning, if you can keep your life fairly quiet for one day.
Well, I'll try. Lucy might keep an eye on me. That'd help.
I'll be responsible for him, sir.
Starting with breakfast.
Well,
I think Lucy would probably like some more coffee.
Yes, I would.
it'll just keep you awake. Well, good night.
Good night.
Good night, sir.
More coffee?
I suppose you're a wonderful dancer.
Fair.
I'm awful.
Good. That'll make me feel superior. May I have this down, Miss Adams?
Charmed. Hey, I'm not so bad, am I?
You're fine.
I guess the trouble was I just never liked to dance before.
Neither did I.
You know, Lucy, Crownport's not such a bad little town. It's got a lot of nice people in it. You've just seen the worst side of it.
Like you?
No, but what I mean, Lucy, is, well, can you see yourself living in a town like Crownport? No, pretty dull, I guess, huh?
Very. Practically nothing's happened to me since I met you.
Yeah. No, but seriously, sometimes I have whole days of peace and quiet. Now, we've been together for several hours and nothing very spectacular has happened. Not near enough has happened. Let's get out of here.
Sorry.
Sometimes we have whole days of peace and quiet. Good night, Mr. Adams.
Oh, that date for breakfast still stands.
Good night, Bill.
Good morning, Herman.
Well, goodbye, Mr. Adams.
Oh, no. Oh, no. Mr. Grant said you were to look after me today. And what he says goes. He's your boss, you know.
Well, I've had breakfast with you.
Oh, yes, but I need much more looking after than that. Much more. What the?
Wait, Bill.
Hey! I've been trying to find you.
Look. Hey, what's going on here? What do you think you're doing?
You're being evicted. Here's your notice. Come on, boys. Don't take all day.
Okay, Bob.
Because of the lumber I keep around, the place has attracted termites. How do you like that?
It's fantastic.
Look, can't you just wait until I call Ridges and get this thing fixed up?
Sure. You can call him in Swade's office, but it won't do you no good, pal. He signed the notice himself. Okay, fellas, lift it.
Yeah, but at least you can leave my stuff here until I can get another office.
Sorry. Orders.
Well, what difference does it make to you?
Oh, boy.
Where's your telephone?
Hi, over there.
Thanks.
Listen, will you stop reading me the Constitution? I'm just following orders.
All I'm asking you to do it. Hello? Hello, is this the Andrews building? Give me the superintendent, please.
Miss Gilbert! Miss Gilbert!
I've been looking for you, Mr. Grant. They're evicting Bill.
Evicting Bill? Why, what happened?
Oh, something about termites.
Yeah, just drop my things at the hotel, will you? Now, tell me. Who's responsible for this?
Seems that Roscoe Swade has a pal named Hart Ridges. Happens to be my landlord, also happens to be one of Connison's boys. Oh, so Roscoe gives Hart a call, and here I am. Don't worry, though, I'll get another office. Hello, this is William Adams. Yes, I want to rent an office. What? Oh, no vacancies.
Can't we do something, Mr. Grant?
Well, I don't know.
Wait a minute. Be careful of those.
No vacancies at all, huh? I see. Not an office in town, not even a loft. Oh, those boys think of everything.
Connison? Are you sure?
Who else? It's too clever for anybody else.
Let me through here with you. Who's Bill Adams?
Do you mean Mayor Adams?
I'm Bill Adams. What do you want?
Electric company. Got orders to discontinue service.
Efficient, aren't they? You'll find the box in the back.
Okay, thanks.
What's the matter, Mr. Mayor? Can't you pay your bills? You shut your mouth. I'll shut it for you.
Oh, no, Tom, no. That's what they want us to do, so let's not do it.
Why not use my sitting room as temporary headquarters?
Oh, well, that's awfully nice of you, Mr. Grant, but I couldn't do...
Why not, Bill?
You're not going to let them put you out of business, are you?
Where's Bill Adams?
Oh, Mr. Mayor, you got more company.
Hey, Wooly, bring out a couple of more chairs.
I'm Adams. What do you want?
Compliments of the mayor. He thought you might need some help.
Will you send my compliments right back to the mayor and tell him to... You tell Mayor Coniston I'm staying right where I am, out on the street. And before I'm through, I'll have him out here with me.
Ah, get a soapbox.
You bet I'll get a soapbox. And if Coniston wants to know what I mean, tell him to come down here and I'll try explaining it to him personally. Ladies and gentlemen, please, just give me a few minutes until I get my new office set up.
Will you? You mean right here on the street?
Sure, why not? We'll hang my shingle on that lamppost.
Bill, they'll get out in the junction. You won't be here 2 hours.
I know that, sir. But this time, Coniston's gone too far. He's giving me more publicity than I ever dreamed of. I may be here only an hour, but it'll be a good one.
I'll get you an office. Now, keep out of trouble. I'll be back in a few minutes.
Now, is this about right for the desk?
Oh, no, I think it should be catty-corner.
Okay, ladies, go to the boss. Oh, here, let me take those.
Watch this.
Oh, yeah.
Excuse me.
Thanks, friend.
How is he, nurse?
Oh, he's coming along all right.
Can we see him now?
I think so.
You fellas wait. We'll be right out.
That'll do it, Mr. Grant.
Oh, thank you. Well, where's Mr. Adams?
How you feel, Mr.
Maybe you
Grant?
better take it easy for a while.
No, I'm all right. Where are Mr. Adams and my secretary?
Well, he's in jail, and she's trying to get him out.
Lucy.
Did the doctor say you could get up?
Oh, yes, I'm fine. Where's Bill?
Still in jail. I've tried everything. They're holding him for a $15,000 bail, inciting to riot.
This is outrageous. We'll have to find Judge Hartley.
We've tried to.
And he couldn't be found, as usual.
You can find him at Coniston's rally about an hour from now, up there on the platform, shooting his big mouth off.
No, we'll find him before then.
It's no use, Mr. Grant. They got us all sewed up. They always do.
Yes, but they took one stitch too many this time. They always do that, too. Come on.
Do you think you should?
I've got to get the boy out of jail.
I'm glad you feel that way, sir.
Yes, well, let's not keep Judge Hartley waiting, huh? I want to talk to you, Mr. Hartley.
Sorry, I haven't any time to give you right now.
I'm afraid you'll have to find time.
See here, you...
Judge Hartley, acting on my rights as a citizen, I demand that you swear out warrants for the arrest of Ridges, Swade, Blackston, and Mayor Coniston.
You're crazy. On what charges?
Conspiracy, abuse of public office, inciting to riot. I suggest that you come to the jail with us now and release Mr. Adams and sign those warrants. We'll need a couple of more warrants, too, for some hoodlums. I have their names.
You are crazy. You can't push your way into my house and order me around. Do you realize I can have you arrested for disturbing the peace, all of you?
Let's just postpone that, Judge. Ladies and gentlemen, will you excuse us for just a minute? Ladies and gentlemen, I have persuaded Judge Hartley to change his mind. He has kindly consented to release your candidate in time for the rally tonight.
Are you going to tell Bill how you got him out?
No, that's not necessary.
What's the deal, Mr. Grant? You know something about him?
No, on the contrary, he knows something about me.
Ladies and gentlemen, I mean my friends. For a long time, I've been hoping a man would come along, a young man. Because like I always say, the future of our great country belongs to the young folks who could take over and give us old folks a chance to sit back and take things easy. Well, this year I said to myself, Jim, maybe this Bill Adams is the fella. But he dashed my hopes and prayers to the ground. I saw that he's not the man we've been waiting for. That he's nothing but an agitator, a troublemaker, stirring up neighbors against each other. He said he'd be here tonight. I wish he was. I hoped that when I got up to talk, he'd be here on the platform with me to debate with me the issues so close to our hearts. Bill Adams, if you think you're going to break up this rally, you're crazy. Did you let him out?
Mr. Mayor, well, Chief Perkins here, he's got a warrant for your arrest.
And for the arrest of Blackston, Ridges, and Swade.
Take your hands off me.
Jim, I couldn't help it. Honestly, you just better come along.
Attention, please. Quiet, quiet, everybody. My friends, I never thought he'd dare do this. But you can see for yourselves now to what lengths this radical will go to sabotage a peaceful meeting of the people. But I'm calling his bluff. I'm going to make him bring out the witnesses to prove this. As mayor of this town, I got a right to call a special hearing, and I do. So the issues will be clear when you go to the polls to vote tomorrow.
You'll be sorry you ever started this.
Better remain with us, Mr. Hartley. We wouldn't want you to prejudice the mayor's testimony. Any place there, folks.
All right, find a seat and sit down. Sit down.
That Adams squirt's just bluffing. He ain't got a thing on the mayor.
No?
Find a seat and sit down.
Mr. Grant, I still don't understand.
Order. This hearing will come to order.
Judge Hartley, my friend, I'm not on trial here. Bill Adams has made accusations against me. He's had a warrant sworn out for my arrest. This is a hearing to show you that he has no proof of anything he says. That he's trying by a cheap trick to win an election he can't win by fair play. Judge Hartley.
Mr. Mayor, you'll have to moderate your tone. This is very irregular.
Step one side and clear the aisle, please.
Mr. Connaughton, it's true that you are not formally on trial here. You asked for this hearing. You demanded by what right we had you arrested. We're here to tell you and to accuse you of conspiring against men who honestly oppose you, of inciting a riot with reckless disregard for human safety, of abusing the office to which you have been elected by the people of this town. And these accusations we are prepared to prove.
I hate to see the old boy get himself involved like this.
Don't worry about the old boy now, darling.
Mr. Mayor, Mr. Grant has obtained confessions from these men. They have told Mr. Grant that acting on your orders, they started the riot this morning in order to make possible Mr. Adams' arrest. They have sworn to these facts. Because of this, Mr. Grant was able to demand a warrant for your arrest.
Mr. Grant swore out a warrant from my arrest. A man who doesn't even live in our town. A meddling old fool who does nothing but shoot ducks and start trouble.
Jim, don't say that.
I'll say anything I please. I demand to know who this man is. Who is this Joe Grant?
Jim, do yourself a favor. Don't ask.
That's all right, Judge Hockley. Mr. Connaughton, it's not Joe Grant. It's John Josephus Grant.
Where you from, Grant?
Washington, D.C.
Jim, please, no more questions. Mr. Grant.
Shut up! I'll ask all the questions I please. By what right? And what do you do, Mr. Grant?
Mr. Connaughton, I am a judge, an associate justice of the Supreme Court of the United States. Mr. Connaughton, you have asked by what right I've interfered in this situation. Do you still want an answer?
Justice Grant, would you care to...
No, thank you.
Phil!
Oh, just throw some water on him, Lucy. He'll be all right. Your Honor, Mayor Connaughton, it's only right that you should know why I, a stranger, have become involved in your affairs. Believe me, it's not because I am a justice of the Supreme Court. It's because, like all of you here, I am a citizen of this country. That is no little honor. Men have fought revolutions, have died to be called citizen. And as citizens, we carry a burning responsibility. It means that when we elect men to public office, we cannot do it as lightly as we flip a coin. It means that after we've elected them, we can't sit back and say, our job is done. What they do now doesn't concern us. That philosophy of indifference is what the enemies of decent government want. If we allow them to have their way, to grow strong and vicious, then the heroic struggle which welded thousands of lovely towns like this into a great nation means nothing. Then we're not citizens, we're traitors. The great liberties by which we live have been bought with blood. The kind of government we get is the kind of government we want. Government of the people, by the people, and for the people can mean any kind of government. It's our duty to make it mean only one kind, uncorrupted, free, united. I believe, Mayor Connaughton, that I've answered your question. Now, as soon as court adjourns, I'll meet you back here in my chambers.
Well, what's the matter, Mr. Justice? You seem nervous.
Oh, no, not at all. How about you, Mayor Adams? Have you the ring?
Do you know your lines, sir?
Well, I ought to. I stayed up half the night learning them.
Hello there, Grant.
Oh,
I'm glad to see you.
thank you.
You're looking fine, Josephus. How was the hunting?
Oh, best I ever had.
Good morning, Your Honor.